Currently, the redevelopment of the building is underway in Tenjin, the center of Fukuoka City. It involves a city-led project called Tenjin Big Bang. I've heard the name of the locals, but I'm not really sure about this project. This time I'm going to unravel the Tenjin Big Bang. Let's look at the positional relationship of the main districts around the center of Fukuoka City. First of all, Tenjin, which will be the stage for this time. It is the center of commerce and business in Fukuoka and Kyushu, and plays an important role as a growth engine for the city. If you live in Kyushu, you probably have visited once for shopping or work. Next is the area around Hakata Station. This is the gateway to Fukuoka City, where you can find the Kyushu Shinkansen, Junior Kagoshima Main Line, and Hakata Station on the municipal subway. There is also a highway bus center, which connects to each city by highway bus. By the way, there are more employees than Tenjin, and office buildings are lined up around Hakata Station. And the waterfront district. Large MICE facilities are located, such as Marine Mesa Fukuoka, where large concerts and exhibitions are held, and Fukuoka International Congress Center, where international conferences are held. It is also in this area that a large cruise ship to Hakata port berths. During the 4 years from 2015 to 2018, the number of cruise ship calls was the highest in Japan. However, due to the influence of the new coronavirus, MICE holdings and cruise ship calls have dropped sharply. And cruise ships in particular have stopped calling at Hakata Port since February 2020. In this area, redevelopment is being considered in order to make use of the precious seaside near the center of the city to create a lively base, but due to the influence of the new coronavirus, the redevelopment is currently under review. Has been done. Next, Ohori Park and Meijuru Park. It is an oasis in the city center located about 1 kilometer west of Tenjin. There is a 2 kilometers running course around a large pond, the site of Fukuoka Castle, and it is a vast open space in the center. This park will be designated as Central Park, and will be redeveloped in an integrated manner. Finally, Fukuoka Airport. The biggest feature of Fukuoka Airport is that it is very close to the center of the city. In this photo, you can see that the city spreads around the airport. It is connected to the center of the city by subway, and it takes 11 minutes to Tenjin and 5 minutes to Hakata Station. However, because it is close to the center of the city, there are various issues. That issue will have a lot to do with the Tenjin Big Bang, so I will explain it later. By the way, the right to operate Fukuoka Airport has been transferred from the national government to private businesses. But I am very worried because it seems that the debt is insolvent due to the influence of the new coronavirus. Now, let's take a closer look at Tenjin. Large-scale commercial facilities are located around Watanabe-dori, which is a main road that runs north and south through the center of Tenjin. Large-scale office buildings are lined up around Meiji-dori, which runs east and west. In Tenjin, many buildings that needed to be rebuilt were located, as the old buildings were aging and there were issues with earthquake resistance. Therefore, in order to encourage the rebuilding of buildings in the city center, Fukuoka City has set a standard that allows buildings larger than normal regulations to be built. That is, the floor area ratio of buildings can be added. special system was established in 2008. The point is, you can build a bigger building if you contribute to the city, not just thinking about your own building. For example, if you develop facilities that improve the traffic environment, you can add up to 100% of the floor area ratio. Up to 50% if facilities that can reduce the environmental load are installed. Up to 50% if you secure a space where liveliness and relaxation are created. Up to 50% of disaster-resistant facilities. So, the floor area ratio that can be added is set according to the content that contributes to the city. By the way, the floor area ratio is the ratio of the total floor area, which is the total floor area of each floor of the building, divided by the site area, and the building can only be built within that range. The higher the floor area ratio, the more floors can be created. For example, in the case of a floor area ratio of 300%, if there is land of 1,000 square meters, the total floor area of the buildings shown in red can only be up to 3,000 square meters on that land. Similarly, if the floor area ratio is 500%, the total floor area will be up to 5,000 square meters. Actually, it requires a little more complicated calculation, but it looks like this roughly. The floor area ratio varies depending on the location, but the highest floor area ratio in Tenjin is 800%. Depending on how much you contribute to the city when rebuilding, you can build a building of a scale that adds to the floor area ratio. Then, the reason why the standard for adding the floor area ratio was set in 2008 is that in 2008, the owners of the land and buildings around Meiji-dori in Tenjin decided to promote Tenjin Meiji-dori Town Planning, which is a promotion organization for town planning. The momentum for rebuilding the building has increased, such as the launch of the council, and it has been decided that the Kyushu Shinkansen will connect to Kagoshima Chuo Station in 2011. And the new station building at Hakata Station will open accordingly, etc., seem to be in the background. By the way, the entire Kyushu Shinkansen Kagoshima route will open on March 12, 2011. So it will be the day after the Great East Japan earthquake. However, this floor area ratio addition system has not been used for some time. This was related to the fact that Fukuoka Airport was close to the center of the city. You can see that Fukuoka Airport is here and Hakata Station is nearby. And this area is Tenjin. This is because the aviation law sets an upper limit on the height of the building according to the distance from Fukuoka Airport. Basically, it can only be built up to about 50 meters around Hakata Station and about 65 to 75 meters in Tenjin. Even if the usable floor area ratio is added, the height of the building to be built is suppressed. So a large building cannot be built. The current tallest building in Japan is Abeno Haruka's in Osaka, which is 300 meters high. And the Torch Tower in Tokyo, which is scheduled to be completed in 6 years, is 390 meters, so the difference is clear when compared. It's a limitation because it's a compact city near the city and the airport. Fukuoka City has the advantage that the sky can be seen even in the center of the city, and there is less oppressive feeling compared to other big cities. But the attractiveness of the city center where the functions of the city are concentrated is diminished. That's where the Tenjin Big Bang comes in. Tenjin Big Bang will create new spaces and employment, such as promoting rebuilding to advanced buildings and creating comfortable and warm public spaces. Targeting a radius of 500 meters around the Tenjin intersection. As a project, Fukuoka City announced in 2015. Numerical targets have also been set, with the aim of inducing the rebuilding of 30 buildings in the 10 years to 2024, increasing the total floor area of buildings by about 1.7 times and the number of employees by about 2.4 times. The Tenjin Big Bang has 2 points of interest. The first is that the height of the building to be built has increased. It was realized by deregulation by the National Strategic Special Zone. And although it is limited to the designated area, the upper limit of the height at which the building can be built has increased, and a guideline has been shown. As shown on the map, height restrictions have been relaxed for areas where large development projects are underway or planned. Areas with a wide range of numbers will have different heights to be relaxed depending on the distance from the airport. The second is the further addition of the floor area ratio. When rebuilding a building that has been certified as an attractive building, the floor area ratio will be increased by an additional 50%. For that purpose, it is necessary to make the building a high value-added building. By December 2024, it is required to be a building with high design, to be conscious of continuity with surrounding buildings, to promote shade of trees, flowers and greenery, and to consider universal design. This applies to buildings that have been rebuilt. Also, in August 2020, it was possible to add up to 50% to buildings that are compatible with the new coronavirus infectious disease countermeasures, by taking measures such as ventilation, non-contact, securing physical distance, and enhancing the communication environment. Buildings that will be rebuilt by December 2026 are eligible. The rebuilding of several large buildings is in progress. The Tenjin Business Center project is a project to attract top creative global companies to Fukuoka, and will create the largest office floor in the Tenjin area with over 10,000 tsubo. The height of the building is 89 meters, and it is scheduled to be completed in September 2021. The building itself is almost complete in shape. With the integrated reorganization of elementary schools, the former site of Daimyo Elementary School will be reborn as a new base for the global founding city, such as the luxury hotel Ritz-Carlton and high-grade offices. It is characteristic that a 3,000 square meters square is set up in the center of the site. The building is 110 meters high and is scheduled to be completed in December 2022. Tenjin Core, which was a sacred place for gals in the 1990s, Tenjin Big next to it, and Fukuoka Building, where the head office of Nishi Nippon Railroad, which owns the most buses in Japan, was redeveloped. Project. As a creative intersection where people, things, and information are mixed, we aim to be a town where visitors and workers take the initiative in enjoying creativity and culture. A large-scale building with a total floor area of 138,000 square meters and a building height of 96 meters, scheduled to be completed in December 2024. IMS, which was a base for transmitting information culture, also closed its business in August of this year, and it has been decided to rebuild it. Its appearance has not been clarified, but it is scheduled to be completed by December 2024. There are various other rebuilding businesses, but I will omit them here. In this way, the rebuilding of buildings has begun one after another. And the number of shops where office workers in Tenjin eat lunch is decreasing, so it seems that lunch refugees are appearing one after another. After all, it seems that the height limit of Tenjin Big Bang can be relaxed a little and the floor area ratio can be increased by 50%, but that is only a part. In fact, on TV and newspapers, we often see what is described as relaxation of height restrictions and addition of floor area ratio, equal to Tenjin Big Bang. The high value added buildings that we have explained so far are one of the pillars. In addition to that, we call it Tenjin Big Bang by packaging comfortable and warm streets, employment that creates vitality, and from private cars to transportation that support it. I feel like I'm cramming everything, but I'm calling it all together as an initiative to enhance the role and function of the Tenjin area as a base city in Asia. It is said that business and work styles will change and diversify due to changes in work styles and lifestyles during the with Corona and post-Corona eras, and the offices are being sought accordingly. I am both excited and anxious about how the cityscape of Tenjin will change in the future. Thank you for watching until the end. This time, I unraveled the Tenjin Big Bang. I will continue to upload at my own pace, so please have a look.